What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Sorry about that. This is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season. Season 6, episode 7. All right. So come on in. First of all, hold on before we get into this. Sorry about that. First of all, let me just tell you that I have decided that this is the next thing on my bucket list is to do a yacht trip, like a real yacht trip, like on below deck. Did I unblock Chuck? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I thought... Shoot. Thank you, Tracy, for reminding me. I forgot to check. Hold on. Let me look. So I've decided that this is my new bucket list situation. Okay? This is my new bucket list situation. So this was great. Let me start off by saying that, the whole yacht. I've never really watched Below Deck and stuff like that, but I might have to catch me a couple of episodes of Below Deck now. All right, let me go. I have to go and see if Chuck is blocked. I know they said there's 2 ways you can check to see if somebody is on your block list. So I need to check this way. But I can still do this while I can do 2 things at one time. At least I'm gonna try my best to. Is this it right here? Upload defaults. I can never find where to find the block list. This is it. I got to get my boo unblocked. Did I find it? Is this it? Hold on. Oh, I need to get a mouse for this thing. Hold on. Shoot. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I can do 2 things. Shoot. Let me try this again. So anyway, so the ladies are on their way on the trip. Now, y'all know the first 10 minutes is just them getting on the plane and flying out. The only major thing that happened is that we find out that Bronwyn is going to meet the ladies there, right? She's not getting on the plane and she is going to meet the ladies there, which, if I'm being honest, I'm going to be honest. I told y'all last week, I just think Bronwyn needs to lead the show. Like, I just feel like this is just not the best situation for her. Okay, that's not it. That's not. Where do I find the block list? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, boy. User management. Is this it? Here it is right here. Hold on. I found my mods. Now let me find out if I can find. Shoot. I don't see Chuck. I don't see Chuck. I don't see Chuck on here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This ain't the whole list. All right. Dang, I got a lot of people blocked. Sheesh. I'm sorry, y'all. That person shouldn't be blocked. I found one person that shouldn't be blocked. Hold on. I do not see Chuck. I do. Lord, some of these names are the people that are blocked. Good Lord. I do not see Chuck's name, though. Huh. All right, we got to find out what's going on with Chuck because I do not see Chuck's name on this list. Thank you, Tracy, for reminding me, though. They say it's a second way. There's like 2 block lists. Like one is like directly on your Gmail. So I need to go to my Gmail and see if he's blocked under my Gmail. But I need to find that. I don't know how to find that. That's what I just heard other YouTubers talking about, that there are 2 different block lists. But yeah, I do not see Chuck on this list. All right. I did unblock somebody that was on the list that shouldn't have been on the list, though. All right, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm gonna have to find you, Chuck. If you're in the bushes, Chuck, I'm gonna figure out how you got blocked, baby. And we're gonna get you unblocked. I just don't know. I have to play around with it. When I get off of here, somebody was saying, like I said, there's a block list in your Gmail, but I don't know where that is. I have to look for it in my Gmail and see if somehow you're on there. Okay. But I'm sorry, Chuck. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Settings. I don't see it here either. Manage. I don't see. I'm gonna have to find out where that other block list is that's in your. They said that you have to go to your Gmail account, and there's like a block list there, and I don't know where that is, so I need to check that. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize, but Chuck, y'all know that's my boo, so I'm trying to figure out how. Chuck, first of all, I don't even know how he got blocked, and second of all, I need to figure out how to unblock him. All right. Tracy, remind me to check. I need to ask somebody that knows how to find that other block list to show me. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in there with me. I apologize. I was just trying to figure out how to get Chuck unblocked. Okay. Chuck, if you in the bushes, baby, I'm working on it. I don't know you're not on this block list, and I need to figure out where the other one is or what happened. Because I know nobody would have blocked you on purpose. So I don't know how you got blocked. Anyway, Chuck, I'm sorry, boo. YouTube is being weird because I can't even like your videos. Yeah, nobody would have blocked Chuck on purpose. So if it happened, it was an accident, but I don't see him on my block list. So I don't know. I don't see him. But anyway, let's get into this episode, y'all, because it's not going to take too long. Well, it is, but it isn't. The first half of the episode really wasn't a whole lot there. Like I said, the ladies are getting on the yacht. You know, they're going through the whole rigmarole. Brittany, you are so thirsty. It is ridiculous. You're thirsty, and Heather, I think low-key you a hoe. Because, like, both of y'all are flirting with the captain. Brittany is flirting with anybody on this ship. As we see throughout this episode, Brittany is basically flirting with anybody with testosterone in their system, okay? But you got a whole unicorn in your room of Jared's voice. Girl, if you don't go sit down somewhere, Brittany is insufferable because it is so desperate and it is so embarrassing to see how thirsty you are and to see how desperate you are. It is embarrassing. You like thirsty Brittany? You say, I like thirsty Brittany. It is so embarrassing to see just, and then Heather, you done slept with the man. You done slept with the man, but you trying to encourage Brittany to sleep with the man. That is some, I don't know what the right word I want to use because I don't want to say something wrong, but that is some trashy shit. Why would you be encouraging Brittany to sleep with that man and you know you slept with that man and you flirt with him, which tells me you will sleep with him again? It's one thing to be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, we had a drunken night. a couple of years ago, yada, yada, yada. But the fact that the way you was flirting with that man tells me you would do it again. So, why would you do that? Quake, you said it. Thank you, because that's what I was thinking. I'm glad you said it, because that's what I was thinking. Okay. So, then Robert shows up. Excuse me. Robin shows up. They had to tender her onto the boat, child. Because by the time she showed up, they were already on the boat. I'm sorry, that's a yacht. I'm going to stop saying it's a boat. It's a yacht, honey. They were already on the yacht, doing their thing. Now, there are 4 rooms, so the ladies have to room together. So Mary and Angie are together. Lisa and Whitney are together. Heather and Whitney are together. Lisa and Meredith are together. And Bronwyn and Brittany are together. And of course, Bronwyn and Brittany don't even get along. So it's like, okay, what's that about? Then, as they were unpacking the luggage, somebody had a cucumber in their luggage. I feel like this is a production thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because even if somebody was traveling with a cucumber, for whatever reason they were traveling with the cucumber, maybe it's a beauty regimen that they cut the cucumber slices every night and put them on their face before they go to bed. Maybe it's for other reasons. I feel like it would be in something. Who is just sticking a cucumber in their luggage? Like, you're not going to put it in a plastic bag. Like, you're just going to risk a cucumber busting open and just getting on all your stuff. And that looked like Whitney and Heather's room, if I'm being honest. If I really did the research and went back and looked at the decor of the room when they opened up that suitcase and that cucumber was just sitting there in that suitcase, and it was somebody's carry-on. So somebody walked through the airport with a cucumber in their luggage, and it wasn't in nothing. It wasn't in no, like I said, it wasn't in nothing. Right. And can you even carry food in your luggage in an international flight? I didn't think you could. I didn't think you could just be taking food in and out the country like that. So I just feel like that was a production thing. I don't know. I'm not going to put too much on it. So Bronwyn shows up in one of her little costumes, child. And Bronwyn is talking to... Now, Heather had told everybody, don't ask Bronwyn about what's in the news. Let her get on the ship good. Let her get, don't just barrage, beat her up as soon as she walks in the door. Give her time to get herself together. Okay. But of course, as soon as they get to the room, here come Brittany asking her about it. So Bronwyn is like, listen, let's just say this. Ty, I wasn't sure if I was going to come at all because, Ty was very upset about the things that are in the news. The stuff isn't true. And Todd and my child are my first priority. And the thought process is that, it might be somebody in the group that's putting this information out there. Okay. So what Bronwyn is saying actually, it actually makes sense. So what Bronwyn said is that there are 2 different things that are in the news. One was 20 years ago. She got evicted from an apartment. She was pregnant, had gotten kicked out of college, didn't pay the last couple of months' rent on her apartment, and she had a judgment on her credit. The reality of the situation is I can absolutely see that happening. I can absolutely see that being the case. Got it, right? That's some real shit, right? The second one, which is the one that they're saying is from like 2021, she's saying, listen, that's not a real thing. She said, there's a case there. I can't speak on it because the case was sealed. But what she said is that all people are able to pull is the penal code. And the penal code falls under the umbrella of theft, grand larceny, fraud. So she said people are speculating as to what it is. She said, but it's not my case. She said, it was something that happened at my job. I was a part of the investigation, but that whole case is sealed, which is why nobody knows what it is. And I can't speak on it. Hence, sealed case. Now, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to tell you guys, I believe her. I believe that she was maybe a witness. Maybe she was involved in something and she became a state's witness and pled out and didn't get any jail time and didn't get any, because let's be clear, if she was charged with something in 2021, there would be something on her record in 2025. You would see that she was convicted or that, that she has a felony or a misdemeanor or something on her record. The case itself is sealed. So she said there's no mugshot, there's no nothing. So I kind of believe her when she says, hey, this is something that happened at my job. I was not charged with anything, but it's a case that I was a part of. Hence, it's sealed, and only thing people can find is the penal code. Maybe somebody was stealing at the job, and either she knew about it and she gave us a statement, or maybe originally she was charged and she was like, whoa, I didn't steal shit. But let me tell you who did. Bob and Shirley be down in the mailroom pulling out checks and signing them over to each other. And let me tell you about Billy over in Cubicle CD, him and his fiance. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it was some situation like that. Because I honestly I kind of believe what she's saying. But anyway, with that being said, moving forward, the ladies go to lunch. And they're all in their little bikinis because they're going to go, they're going to go in the water after they eat lunch. And Browen, now she's talking to the whole group. And this is what she's explaining to the group. And she said, listen, I kind of feel like it's coming from somebody in the group. Now, let me be clear. As I was watching this scene, y'all know what I do, right? Y'all know nowadays, what do? I say, well, is it production? In the back of my mind, I was like, well, did they edit this scene to make Lisa look guilty? And the reason why I say that is because as soon as Browen started talking about they thought it was that the call was coming from inside the room, that her and her husband felt like somebody in this group of people was sharing the information. Baby, Lisa got, well, it wasn't, I don't think it was anybody in this group. It wouldn't be anybody in this group. It would never be anybody in this group. Would it be somebody in this group? It's not somebody in this group. Is it somebody in this group? And as soon as Lisa started talking, I was like, methinks she protests too much. And then it proceeded to, Lisa continued to go more and more to the point where she finally was like, well, I didn't say anything. It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. It wasn't me. So I was like, well, maybe this scene was edited and it made it look like that Lisa thought it was her. I said, Lisa, hey, girl, that would have been a time for you to just be quiet and just be like, dang, for real? That's messed up. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If it was me, I'm playing it in the middle. I ain't saying too much. I'm not saying too less. I'm just playing in the middle. Ain't no way in the world I'd have done all that talking and I knew I was guilty. Ain't no way in the world that I would have done all of that talking and I knew I was guilty. Lisa, you might as well have put a billboard on the back of your head and said, it was me. Because why did you get so defensive? Because, girl, nobody said your name. Nobody said your name, girl. And I thought it was production until later on, all of the ladies were saying the same thing. All the ladies were like, girl, nobody said your name. Girl, nobody what you, like, what? Even Mary was like, child, it was her. Even Mary was like, it was Lisa. Now, do I think that Lisa is the only person on this show that has ever said anything to the blogs? No. Absolutely not. I think Jen Shaw said stuff to the blogs. I absolutely think that other people talk to the blogs, right? But do I think that Lisa has shared stuff? Yeah, I do. And I also think that Lisa comes for people that come for her. And I also think that Browyn knows it was Lisa, because I think that, this is my opinion, y'all, this is me putting 20 on 10. Remember that Lisa knows Browyn's baby daddy's family, and they don't like her either. Let's not forget, Browyn and Lisa have a different type of connection. Lisa knows Browyn's baby daddy's family. And let's not forget that they may have information on Browyn or may know things about Browyn that the rest of the group would not know and don't have access to. That's my opinion. As far as comparing what Browyn did to Lisa to what Lisa allegedly did to Browyn, it's not the same. And let me tell you why it's not the same. There was a whole article in the newspaper of Salt Lake City that talked about Lisa's lawsuits. Lisa has had, when we looked it up ourselves, there were literally, 4 different lawsuits that we found, and all we did was Google Lisa Barlow, lawsuits. That's it. So I think Browyn was reading the newspaper. I don't think Browyn was going through Pacer looking up lawsuits on Lisa Barlow. I think that an article was posted letting people know that Lisa Barlow had a lot of lawsuits. Now, maybe once that article came out, maybe Browyn did what we do over here, or what Tracy does so well for us, and went and looked up the lawsuit and read the details. Yeah, I believe she might have done that, but I don't think she initiated an investigation into Lisa Barlow. I think the article came out and maybe she did some further research. Yes. But that's not the same as whoever is putting this information about Browyn out. And I'm going to tell you why. Because who gives a fuck about this woman getting kicked out of an apartment 20 years ago? Let's be clear. Now, I ain't never been evicted from an apartment, but I've come close when I was in college. When I graduated from college, I had my first little apartment, and child, listen, there was many a day I was beaten. I was running to the rental office. I was using up that 5-day grace period after the first of the month, and I was running to the office before they closed. There was many days I had to make my rent. Well, I ain't gonna say many days, but it has happened when I had to make that rent payment before they was taking that paperwork down to the court. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know why I'm gonna tell you the truth? Because that shit happened 30 years ago. Okay? That happened when I was in my 20s. So do I think, it kind of goes back to what I was saying last night about Potomac. It's not that deep. Like, who cares if Browyn got evicted and got a judgment against her 20 years ago? I don't care. And then the other thing you pull up is a penal code of a lawsuit that you just know her name is connected to, but you don't have the specifics. No reputable newspaper ran with that story. Some blog did. And again, the average blog, let's just call a thing a thing. I don't run a blog. I do, YouTube or whatever. But the average blog ain't just going and looking up everything. Somebody had to drop a breadcrumb. Because that's not even an article. That's not even a full article. What you writing? Her name was connected to a penal code, and this what it could possibly be. That's not in the Salt Lake City Times. That's not in that. That might be in a blog in Salt Lake City. So that's why I wouldn't say it's the same. I'm not going to make that comparison and make it like it's equal, because it's not. One does not equal the other, in my opinion. Okay? Then the ladies go swimming. Angie is sick. Poor thing. Angie, one word. Dramamine. Girl, you know you were getting on a ship for the first time. Did you not think to get you some Dramamine? They have non-drowsy. You can get the wrist. They have the wrist now. They got the patches. You could take a pill. Like, girl, there are so many things you could do for seasickness. Did you not take nothing? You didn't do nothing? Nothing. Baby, Angie is sick as a dog. She is throwing up everywhere. And let me tell you something. I'm one of those people. I don't blame Lisa when Angie got back on that boat and she was throwing up and Lisa was like, I don't want to be nowhere near her. Baby, I'm the same way. I can't do it. I know that's one thing. If I had ever become a mother, that is the one thing that I would be like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Now, I don't mean like baby throw up, like, you know, like what babies do. I ain't talking about that. I mean sick, flu, I can't do it. If you throwing up, I'm throwing up. It's going to make me sick. Even the sound of somebody throwing up makes me throw up. I gag. So I'm with Lisa on that one. Even watching it, I was like, why do they keep showing us this woman throwing up? Like, that almost made me sick. Watching her throwing up and hearing it almost made me sick. I can't. Ugh. Okay. So the ladies, you know, after lunch, whatever, they get back in, you know, because me had gotten heated at lunchtime because when Lisa was like, it wasn't me. So child, anyway. So they get back on the ship. And of course, like I said, Angie damn throwing up. Brittany is flirting. She done floated away on the Swan, damn near floated. I don't know where she was going, but they had to go get her, child. They had to go get her. She was floating out so far. And let me tell you something. Last week, when Mary and Angie had that argument, and Mary was like, I'm supposed to be your sister. And she got her together, had that finger pointing. Baby, Mary proved what she meant in this episode. Because when it was time for dinner, I mean, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. I'm going to have to jump back, but I'm going to jump ahead. Baby, when it was time for dinner, Mary stayed in the room with Angie. Angie was too sick to come to dinner. Mary had them bring her food to her downstairs. And she stayed in that room with Angie throwing up while she was eating her food just to be with her and so she wouldn't be by herself. See, that's a friend. That's a friend. Okay, now let me rewind. So the ladies come back in. They're getting ready for dinner. And everybody's talking about the fact that Lisa sound guilty, right? I mean, Bronwyn and Whitney have the conversation. Oh, and they also decided that every time Brittany says the word Jared, they get to throw water on her. Child, they done threw water on her 2 times already, and it looked like and damn near a third. But the second time, she really wasn't guilty. She wasn't guilty the second time. But anyway, so then Heather and Whitney are having a conversation about Lisa. See, Heather, I really be trying with you. I do. Heather, I really be trying with you. So for the past 2 seasons, you have been kissing Lisa's ass. Like, you've just been up Lisa's butt, right? Now, for whatever reason, you've decided, right? She kept calling that Swan a duck. It was funny. Now, for whatever reason, you've decided that Lisa is untrustworthy and Lisa is the snake, and Lisa is this and Lisa's that. And now you need a crew behind you. Now you need a crew behind you. Girl, stand in how you feel. If you feel like Lisa is not the one, then stand in your shit. The other thing was the people online called the tweet online called Bronwyn Conwyn, which is what Lisa called her before the stuff even went public. So that's another reason why Bronwyn was like, I think it's Lisa, because why are they using the same nickname? Like, they're using the same nickname that Lisa called me at the lady's house when they had Ann's house when they had that party. And I was like, well, I mean, it will be limited amount of people that will come up with the same nickname. I mean, it could be coincidence. Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I don't know. So Then Whitney is talking to Heather, and Heather's like, "Well, I believe Lisa did it, but go get Meredith. Yeah, we need to talk to Meredith. We need to talk to Meredith." So they go and get Meredith. Let me tell y'all something. Heather, girl, Meredith told you where she stood on this shit last week when you tried to take her for that walk in the park and tried to convince her to be on your side against Lisa. She told you then where she stood. She said, listen, me and Lisa have been through a lot of stuff. I apologize. She apologized. And I'm trying to be very sincere in our friendship moving forward. And until I see something for myself or somebody brings me some proof, I'm not turning against Lisa. Okay? She told you that last week. Frawin, not common. That's it. Thank you, Black Empress. Frawin, not common. Thank you. So now you done pull Meredith into the room because now you want Meredith to co-sign this shit. And Meredith said the same thing that she told you last week. She said, listen, does it look like maybe it could be Lisa? It could be. Also, y'all got to remember too, Meredith is an attorney. So like Meredith said, correlation does not make a causation. That's a term that I taught when I taught psychology. Just because there's a correlation between something does not mean that's the cause of it happening. So just because there's a correlation between Lisa getting mad at somebody and people's deepest, darkest secrets being exposed doesn't mean Lisa's the person that's doing it. And her thing is, look, I hear what y'all saying and I know what y'all want me to do, but I ain't doing it. And I didn't understand what you was confused about, Heather, because she told you the same thing last week. Did you think that this conversation with Browin was going to make Meredith change her mind? Meredith don't fuck with Browin either. See, if it's somebody that Meredith fucks with, maybe y'all might get something out of her. But Meredith don't mess with Angie, and that's who carried the bone to her the first time. And she ain't crazy about Browin. So what makes y'all think that she's going to be ready to go against Lisa for two people she don't even fuck with? That's number one. Number two, Heather. Hey, girl. Why are you acting shocked? Because she told you the same thing last week. Anyway, so the ladies go to dinner. Like I said, Mary and Angie stay in the room. And the rest of the ladies come down for dinner. So while they're at dinner, Browin and Brittany get into it. And then Browin decides that she just gonna tell it. So she tells the whole room what Browin been saying about her. She said, Lisa, she feels like you baby her. She told Meredith, she says that you have seizures. And I don't remember what she said something about Heather. But we never really got to the Heather part of it too good because Meredith was like, I'm sorry, seizures? What? She was like, I don't have seizures, but I know people who do have seizures, and that's very insensitive. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Yeah, I got to get back on my grind. Somebody just sent me a picture today. A friend of mine just sent me this picture. Baby, my belly is just on 1,000. Oh, my gosh. It's like I've been losing weight everywhere except for my belly. Yeah, I got to do something about this. Ooh, that picture. That's going to be my motivation right there. That picture, I ain't even going to show it to y'all. That's my motivation right there. Okay, sorry. So Meredith gets upset and she was like, my child has seizures. And so then she throws water on Brittany and then Brittany throws water back and Browin is in the middle. I said, Lord, Lord, Lord. And they get to arguing. So then we finally calm that down. And the crew just thinks that these women are absolutely crazy, right? We finally calmed that down. The chef comes out there. The chef said, fuck this. Because they were arguing so much, he couldn't even do his whole little spiel, the courses. That he couldn't even go through what the daggone food was because they was acting such a daggone fool, arguing and stuff. So then finally, they calmed that down. So then now it's Lisa's turn. Heather, what the fuck is wrong with you? Now, let's be clear. Do I think that Lisa has a lot to do with what's going on? I do. I do. I ain't gonna sit here and say I don't think Lisa had. I do. However, Heather, your approach, again, you tried to talk to Lisa last week and you saw how that went. So you had to know that this conversation was not gonna go well. Because last week, all you were telling her was that she says nasty things to Angie, just like Angie says nasty things to her. And that was the reaction that you got. So what made you think that accusing her of leaking stuff to the media was going to get you any different response? So when Lisa responded the way we know Lisa's going to respond. She's going to deflect. She's going to overtalk. She's going to get nasty. And then she's going to cry. Like that is her cycle of events, right? What in the world made you think that that's not what you were going to get from Lisa? And then when Lisa started like getting upset, and then Lisa going to say to you, well, no, she told Meredith, well, I hope you had my back. Because she tried to throw Meredith in there, right? And Lisa going to say to Meredith, I hope you had my back. I hope you had my back. And Meredith was like, well, I told her that I would hope that they're not true. And Lisa was like, stop right there. They're not true. They're not true. They're not true. And Heather is really sitting there in her confessional talking about how shocked she is that Meredith doesn't have her back. Lisa, were we in the same conversation? Because I feel like you tried to talk to Meredith not once but twice, and Meredith was very clear on her stance both times. And you made it seem like, well, I thought Meredith was going to have my back. I thought Meredith was going to support me, but it looks like I'm all alone. Girl, Meredith told you that. Meredith was very clear that she wasn't on board with thinking Lisa did it. Was I the only one that was confused? Because I was like, Heather, why did you think you were going to get a different response? What response did you think you were going to get? Number one. And why did you think your response was going to be any different? Number two. So then she says, well, Heather, if you believe that, then you can't be my friend. Then we're not friends. Baby, why Heather looked shocked? Heather was like, are you serious, Lisa? Lisa, are you serious right now? Heather, what response did you think you were going to get from Lisa? Again, you tried to talk to Lisa last week and she had a whole fit in that damn store. Oh, sidebar. I am not the only person that noticed that Lisa had all that cash. Now, Lisa did come down on her Twitter and said that was tip money. And oh my gosh, that is so ridiculous for us to be thinking that she's doing something illegal. Girl, tip money where? Who is tipping you in $100 bills? And where do I sign up? Where are you getting $100 bill fresh out of the ATM tip money? Who does that? But anyway, moving right along. So I'm really sitting here like, why is Heather acting like she don't understand this reaction from Lisa? This is crazy to me. So then Lisa, of course, does what she does best. She gets up, she's crying, she's calling, and then she's like, leave me alone, leave me alone. She's crying and stuff. She's like, leave me alone. And then Heather is trying to like talk to her and all in her face and stuff. And Lisa was like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. And she is walking away from Heather. Heather going to say, I'm not going to leave you. No, you're going to talk to me. No, I can't believe this. I can't believe you. Lisa, you need to talk to me. See, again, do I think that Lisa is guilty? I do. However, I'm also one of those people, when I say leave me the fuck alone, I really mean it. Like, I'm not playing. If I'm that angry that like I am now crying, leave me alone. And when I say leave me alone, leave me alone. Heather is literally following Lisa. Lisa is on the phone with John, and Heather is literally following Lisa, trying to make her talk. Girl, leave that woman alone. Y'all done pissed her off. Now, again, whether she's guilty or innocent, it does not matter. Y'all done pissed that woman off, and she done told y'all to leave her alone. Leave that lady alone. You're on a yacht in the middle of the water. She's not going anywhere. Now, I know they said that she could call for a tender. Sure, she could call for a tender, but production ain't letting her do that. Y'all know that. She's not going anywhere. Go let her sit over there wherever she need to be and call her husband. She was sitting on the dock of the bay, sitting on the end of that little launch pad. Let her sit there. Did y'all see all that fish in the water? At the end of the episode, the way they had the light on Lisa and you could see all the fish. She wasn't going nowhere. Did you see all them fish? She wasn't going nowhere. It was pitch black. And they were surrounded by fish. She wasn't going nowhere. Leave her the hell alone. Then Brittany gonna go over there to talk to Lisa. And Lisa said, don't touch me. I don't want to talk to anybody. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. And Brittany talking about something. Well, can I give you a hug? And Lisa was like, no. I don't want to touch. I don't want you to touch me. And Brittany is still trying to hug this woman. Listen. Y'all listen, let that woman be mad. Let her talk to her husband and let her be mad. I am so confused at what was wrong with y'all. Y'all done accused this woman of feeding information to the blogs. And again, whether she's guilty or innocent, let her process. She is on the phone with her husband. She is crying. Let her talk to her husband. Now, when she gets off the phone, I'm pretty sure production is going to make her talk to somebody. Probably Meredith, but production is going to make her talk to somebody. Leave her alone. And then Heather is going to go into Mary and Angie's room crying. Because now you need some sympathy because this woman won't talk to you. If you don't, I say, Heather, now you're getting on my nerves. Now you're getting on my nerves. Now, granted, the consensus of the group is that Lisa is guilty. So, okay, you wanted Meredith on your side, but you got everybody else. See, that's the other thing I didn't understand, Heather. You have Whitney on your side. You got Mary on your side. You got Andrew on your side. You got Brown on your side. Why are you worried about Meredith? I know why, but you know, because Meredith is the OG, the big dog. You know what I mean? But you probably not going to get her. You're probably not going to get her. Excuse me. So basically, that was pretty much the episode. Now, Lisa was on the phone telling her husband to come and get her, and she was going to the hotel and come get me tomorrow. First of all, it took y'all 18 hours to get there. He ain't going to be nowhere tomorrow. Second of all, you want to go to the hotel till he get there to bring you home? Okay, girl. Now, in the scenes for next week, it looks like Lisa is still there. So they must have convinced Lisa to stay, I guess. But you know what else I noticed next week in next week's previews? Y'all know that they can't have Glam, right? Remember Lisa asked about Glam and Heather was like, no, you can't have Glam on the ship. Baby, Lisa looked rough. Next week, Lisa looked rough. First of all, and y'all know I very seldom comment. I don't really like commenting on people, especially women's looks and stuff like that. But I just never found Lisa to be an attractive woman. I don't. And she looked rough next week without her glam, child. So anyway, that was pretty much the episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all think, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Now I gotta find out how to get Chuck unblocked because I know he was here. Gotta figure this